Excellent connection. Well, how about that? We have an excellent connection. Pop out chat. Make that go away. Oh. Huh? Why is it so big? Don't need that big. Let's get some smaller. That looks better. I think it's better. Hey, Simmons. Simmons? I'm not sure. Where's the emphasis? Did I put the right emphasis on the right syllable? It says we have good connection, so let's hope it stays that way. Hey, Leah. Good evening. Well, I almost spilled my tea. As you guys know, we always start with tea, especially in this cold weather. Yeah, Leah said I shaved. We have to talk about that. Hey, Rosehaven. Passion fruit flavor. So it's probably actually not passion fruit. It's just some kind of rubbish flavor. Good evening, Brett. The shaving. So, I haven't shaved the bottom because we're still doing the No Shave November charity thing. There's not been a whole lot of money raised. That's okay. I did it also in large part due to my, like Richard Simmons. Good. Okay. Just want to make sure I had it right. In large part due to my company, the crew. So I kept part of it, but I tell you what, honestly, the mustache was so like always like on my face. You know what I mean? Which makes sense because it's facial hair. But I could always feel it. Like it just was always. Now I used to have a goatee back in the day, and I never noticed it. But here, I don't know if it's because my hair grows crooked or what, but it always just felt like there was a dead caterpillar on my face, and I just couldn't. I couldn't abide it anymore, so it had to go. And then I left my early aughts Enrique Iglesias. Look, do I look like a skinny O2 pop star? Who would like to dance? So yeah, I'll get rid of that thing at the end of the month. But good evening, Donna. Hello, Patricia. It is good to see you all here. I do have an update before we get to the big stuff. Remember we talked about Benchmade last week and cost versus value in part, and how I had carried this knife for years and years and years and sent it to them, and they couldn't fix it. They said there was a part missing, and they asked me if I wanted the knife back, assembled and cleaned but non-functional, or they could give me a store credit. And hey, Mom. Mom's already in the oh dear phase of things. Good. That means we're doing it right. So, anyhow, Benchmade. So I went by the post office box, and there was a knife from a package from Benchmade. I got all excited, and I opened it up, and let me back up. They offered me store credit, or they would reassemble my knife and send it back for sentimental values. And of course, I said store credit because a broken knife doesn't do me any good. They gave me basically the store credit enough to buy another Presido, which is what I had. But the Presido 2, or the new version they make, because they don't make the version that I liked anymore. And I really liked the one I had, but that's okay. So I ordered the new one. So I open my package, and I find my old Benchmade. This is the original Presido. I don't know if any of you care, but you can see I've worn all the black off and stuff. I've carried it every day. And so I assumed that when I pulled it, nothing would happen. But what happened was, it works. I don't know why. So it's spring loaded. Remember I was telling you about the ambidextrous studs on either side? And you just pull it, and it opens. Now, I don't know if you can tell with the frame rate, but it actually does fold out. It's not an auto, like, straight out. So they sent it back to me working, which blows my mind. So I thought maybe I did not understand them correctly, because when I filled out the form for the Presido 2, the second generation, with the lady on the phone, I got an order number, and I had to pay an extra, like, $10 for taxes because the store credit didn't cover the taxes. So I went back through my email, and no, there's another knife on its way to me from Benchmade. So, and this one is not only functional, but they sharpened it, they cleaned it, they adjusted it, and so I have potentially will have 2 Benchmades, which would be very cool because they're extraordinarily expensive. But I've used it every day for years and years and years, and good tools are worth the money sometimes. There's probably, well, anyways, I'm very happy. It made me excited. So that was exciting. Update on the chicken nipple waterers. I think if you watched the video, you saw that some of them were leaking. So I took those apart. Not really apart. I mean, there's not much. It's a O-ring. There's no spring in these that I can tell. And I replaced it with some ones that I had in the bucket from the original nipple waterer video. And so I took the 2 out that were leaking and put in the 2 from the bucket that weren't leaking, and now the system is completely good. So there's no leaking water, and the 55-gallon drum is working beautifully. They have had water for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days, and I'm nowhere near running out of water. So much easier system. That's right. Patricia says, now I have an extra. I hope so. It hasn't arrived yet. They said it would arrive by, I think, the 27th or something. So we'll see if it actually gets here. Leah says, Merry Christmas to me. That's right. I couldn't believe it. When I pulled the old one out, I thought, oh, okay, cool. They sent me back the other one. And I pulled it, and it opened. So, hey, Joe, welcome. So the nipple waterers are working brilliantly, and that is very exciting. My sister-in-law and her family have moved out of the People's Republic of California for reasons, and they are now residents of the lovely state of Virginia. They live about 4 hours and change away from here, and in California they stayed in an RV that they purchased, so they have purchased a home here. So there's now another RV on our property, or an RV again. A few month ago or so, we had an RV here for some friends of ours' parents that were looking for a camp spot. They couldn't find one, so they put their RV here. So I might need to open Flannel Farms RV Park, I think. I'm sure that wouldn't take any infrastructure and permitting or anything like that. We'll just throw open the field and let them do what they want. It's good. It's America. You. So we have another RV on the property. That's fun. It's a beautiful thing. It's got like 76 pop-outs. There's pop-outs everywhere. It looks like a puffer fish when you set it down. Much room. But the moment you've all been waiting for, if you saw